Hello and welcome to an update video about what actually happened after the Polkadot Blockchain Academy. Did companies reach out to me? Was I accepted for interviews? Did started some kind of projects which now got funded? It's all you're gonna find out in this update video. It's going to be a different format this time. I'm just sitting here in my chair at my co-working space telling you my story basically without any fancy cuts, transitions, and animations, because I need to tighten a little bit the budget. That's the reason. And because we are trying out now this new format, I'd highly appreciate if you let me know what you think about it. This is going to be gold for me. Thank you. So let's dive in and find out what happened after PBA. Before PBA began, I applied to this extracurricular program called Polkabiz with my own business idea I had. I was just shooting, and that's how it ended. I got rejected pretty quickly, but somehow the idea still stick with me. During PBA, I reached out to Sean and told him, okay, what can I do afterwards? I had, for example, this idea which got rejected, and he came in with a counter offer because, funny enough, he had kind of similar idea, which was which was supposed to solve the similar problem, namely developer onboarding. His idea was called Gitorial, which is Git plus tutorial. This is a Git based interactive tutorial. And he wanted to create a VS Code extension where you can consume this kind of tutorials, which follow a specific spec, as well as create them. So I took note of it, but I just moved it to my backlog. I was not planning to immediately come home and start working on this idea. I first wanted to see and find out what's going to happen after. What happened actually after the PBA? I traveled home by train, and during the train ride, I already took a photo of my certificate. I uploaded it on my LinkedIn and updated all my socials, letting the world know that I've completed the Polkadot Blockchain Academy. Eventually, some recruiters reached out to me asking for my CV, but it looks like they were not convinced or my CV was not good enough because nobody scheduled an interview with me. I even applied to Parity, but no response. So I must have a real bad CV, and that's something I need to obviously rework again. What happened as well, and that's something I really you should really know about if you're new to the space. There are tons of scammers, and they will share a repo with you, either public or private, it doesn't matter. And inside this repo, you will find malicious code. So this code I've just recently posted on LinkedIn. Some dude reached out to me, and it was like getting from a remote server some JavaScript code and executing it, and I don't know what. At this point, I was pretty desperate because none of these job offers landed. I didn't even get an interview. I was still broke, had no job. Decided at this point, okay, I'm gonna play on. I'm gonna now play it on this tutorial card, this VS Code extension. So I mean, it's a cool idea, and maybe I will get funding, which will be brilliant. So I coded for 2, 3 weeks straight the prototype, sent it to Sean, showed it to him, waited, and his response was very positive. So much so that he contacted, I think, the creator of DotCodeSchool, told him, hey, have a look. And the creator reached out to me as well. I received very positive feedback from him as well. And he even sent me 2,500 USD for working with him on DotCodeSchool a little bit. So we have now this collaboration where I've as well created like a syncing, very simple state transition from DotCodeSchool to the extension, but it's still in PR. Anyways, that moment where I received the positive feedback first from Sean and then from the creator of DotCodeSchool, and he was even willing to now spend these 2,500 US dollar to so I can work with him, was a very, very positive response. And I knew, okay, I'm here on the right track, right? So from here on, I had a full focus just on the extension. So I had a new goal now, getting funding, particularly retroactive funding for the extension. I teamed up with Andre, a co-creator, and someone who genuinely helped me. Um, you honestly haven't done much, but just having someone around you is such a benefit who looks over your work a little bit and who you can talk to and exchange ideas makes a big, big difference. So if you got a chance to do something like that, team up with someone, go ahead and do it. Anyways, I drifted now up. What I wanted to say is I teamed up with someone called Andre, one of the PBA alumni, and we've created this proposal. But before posting it, I first refactored the code, make the repository look better, updated the README, and. After that was done, we've created the proposal. We've posted it, and the early feedback was good. I let everyone know from my PBA Lucerne cohort that I've created this proposal, and if they want, they can give me feedback or vote on it as well. But then I very quickly, just a few days in, we received a major backlash from the CAS DAO. Our proposal went deep into the red, and on Discord I could see partly why, because people stated their critique, as well as other folks I get to know through the PBA. They reached out and gave me feedback. Here are a few major mistakes we've made. And if you're about to launch your own proposal, pause now the video, go grab some notepad. You will definitely want not to make these mistakes. First of all, we requested DOT instead of stablecoins. So always request stablecoins. Some people just, from what I've heard, downvote proposals when they see DOT, not stables. Secondly, the description was too provocative. I wanted to make it catchy, a little bit like on YouTube, so people click and are like, whoa. They hook a little bit emotions, but you're not on YouTube on some trashy social media site. Furthermore, what's important to know here as well is as soon as you posted the proposal, you can technically edit it. It's something I definitely have done afterwards, but it gets copied and posted on Discord channels as well. And people on these Discord channels, like the CAS, they vote aye or nay, and you cannot edit it there. So the first initial version will land on this Discord channel, and you're pretty much screwed if you fucked up the initial version, because it's gonna stay there as it is. Third, the last advice I've got: do not overdo it with ChatGPT. It sounded very AI generated like, and it's a critique I received as well. If you're not a native speaker, it's very intriguing just to take your concept, take your description, whatever you've written, and put it into ChatGPT and say rewrite it, and it will print out and generate this beautifully sounding text. But it always sounds GPT like, even though there's a real human behind it. People who read it, they don't necessarily know it, so they will see it's AI generated. They will instantly downvote. And lastly, an extra tip for you, which you should do, is schedule DV calls. DV is decentralized voices. These are people who manage a large stake of dots, have major votes. And if you convince this group of people, the vote is going to look good for you. And finally, schedule a AAG call to present your idea, create a pitch deck, and just engage with the community, right? As soon or even before the proposal goes live, ideally you can schedule an AAG call. How did the vote end? At the end, we received together more than 80% in favor of the proposal, which was amazing. We've met with a bunch of DVs, pitched it well, and were able to convince them. Unfortunately, however, the DOT price, because we did not request stables, but DOT, meanwhile, the DOT price dropped, and from instead of 7,500 USD, you received around just 5K. Minus, I had to deduct 19% from the amount I received for VAT in Germany. Because there's a legal hole there and it defaults to deducting VAT, which is ridiculous, to be honest. So, no life changing, but it definitely keeps the lights on. And we've got approval that we are on the right track here. Now, you might ask yourself, what's next? That's something I'm asking myself every couple of months, to be honest. And from the current standpoint, I'm building a video course about Sean's Rust state machine, which is going to be launched on DotCodeSchool. The Gitorial extension is further evolving, so that's something I'll be working on. We have right now the functionality consume Gitorials. The next step is going to be to create Gitorials, and before that, I still want to polish it a little bit up and create a nice CI/CD pipeline. The more I have been thinking about this Gitorial extension, the more I realized what kind of a huge impact this could have. It's a really, really nice idea Sean had, and I think it's going to be huge inside as well as outside Polkadot, right? And finally, what occupies my mind as well is this VAT issue. Because in many European countries, you need to pay these 90%. But on DAO Treasury payouts, so I'm researching and looking into how to create a legal construct and if it's possible and what the cost would be to create such a legal construct where you receive this DAO grants but don't have to pay because of this gray zone, these 19% VAT, because it's a huge issue for builders in the European Union. That's basically what happened after PBA. No overnight success. Um, I need to keep hustling and living from payout to payout and with big uncertainty. But there's progress, and it's definitely progress, and I learn a lot. Um, it's, it's great, and that's why I'm here. However, what I want to mention finally is that a few of the PBA folks did reach to the point where they were accepted into a company, into a Web3 company. If you are interested, I can reach out to some of them. Some of them landed jobs at Parity, some landed jobs at other Web3 companies. If you want me to bring them on, I can schedule maybe a call with them and they can share their experience if that's something that's going to interest you. Feel free to drop a comment below. See you next time.